Managing the weight of your bird of prey is one of the most important elements of falconry. Whether you're hunting with your bird, or you're flying it for pleasure, or you're even giving it a molt, or keeping it as an aviary bird, or whatever it might be. Now, there are three main types of flying weight. There is fat weight, that's when the bird has eaten lots of nutritious food and it's not really very hungry. You offer it food in the aviary, it just looks at it, thinks, yeah, I might eat that later. Then you've got flying weight, which is a bit lower down. This is where the bird is hungry enough to want to eat something. And then you've got hunting weight, which is a little bit lower than flying weight, when the bird's going to be more aggressive and would want to make more of a kill. So if you're hunting with your bird, then you want it at hunting weight when you're out in the field chasing the quarry, and if you're flying it more for recreational reasons or for the display work like I do, then really flying weight is the right place for it to be. And there is a bit of a window of movement with most birds. However, some birds of prey are more a specific weight pretty much every time you fly them. This can be kind of related to certain species that have a tendency to need more of a specific weight, and sometimes it's just a kind of personality thing as well. Now, there are other factors that come into flying birds of prey than the weight, so it's not the only measure, but in this video I'm going to talk about that and how to actually find the right weight of your bird and how to manage it in basic terms. Now, to find the right weight, it's best to weigh your bird every single day after it's cast its pellet, just before feeding it. So that's going to be your best time to weigh the bird, and keep a log as well. Write that down. Also, write down what you fed the bird and any activity it's done, so you can look back over that little chart and use it as a way of learning exactly what things affect your bird's weight. So then, when you've got to a point of being comfortable that it's flying to the glove really well, it's then a great idea to have it on a crayons outside at your desired weight and to fly it to the glove a few times, and when you're really confident, you can then set it free and practice that weight. Now, a few tips here. If your bird is very young and it's not done a lot of flying, it won't have a lot of muscle on. And when you get it flying, it's going to build muscle, therefore its weight will incrementally go up. So you have to experiment with that. I'll give you a quick example. One of our Harris hawks, Maverick, he was flying originally at about 1.7 3/4 ounces, and at that weight he would fly really well to the glove, and you could get quite a lot of flying out of him at that kind of weight. What has happened, he's been doing more and more flying, and over the last few months has been doing quite a bit of the pest control work, where he's flying around various sites and doing lots and lots of flying, and as a result of that he's put on quite a bit of muscle. So he ended up catching some pigeon, and once he got into the habit of that, he was kind of entered into hunting there, technical term, and he was doing it more regularly. And even though the clients don't mind a few pigeon numbers reducing down, the idea with pest control is it's just naturally scaring the birds away. And I realised that the falconer who was training and flying that bird hadn't thought about putting the weight up. So I think we had accidentally brought the weight down to hunting weight by proxy, because we weren't putting the weight up to keep up with what its flying weight is. So we've then experimented, giving the bird a little bit more food each day, and now he's flying at 1.10 pounds. That's nearly 3-ounce difference, and he's flying without catching prey most of the time. So it's about experimenting, but being very careful. You don't want to have your bird too high in weight, because then it'll be up a tree not coming down. You may have to wait for some hours. And also, if it's too low, it could be underweight. It could also be dehydrated as well. So it's a real good tip to make sure your bird has got access to water pretty much all day when you're experimenting in those lower weights. I hope that makes sense. I hope that's helpful. Any questions, please do comment below.